Was smoking all my dragons, divine, righteous, almighty, greats, overachieving, never slacking. I'm back with another Led Zeppelin song. We got the Rain song, and I'm about ready to hop right into this. Original link will be in the description. Other than that, hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell for more. This will be in my Led Zeppelin playlist as well as my oldies playlist. I'm kind of out of breath. I ran up the stairs so fast. I'm like, hold on, reaction time. Reaction time. But yeah, and y'all already know when I do older tracks or oldies, I don't say anything to the end or pause to the end out of respect for music that's been here before my time. I'm excited, just to just to go back in time into the 70s and hear some authentic music. Somebody said, I'm happy you're listening to real music. And when they said real, they meant as far as just people who are, you know, making music out of instruments from scratch and really using their voice instead of the overly used auto tune and things like that today. And I agree. I agree. I definitely agree. And this is not to knock people who use auto tune and things like that, but you can't. These guys were originators. These guys from the 70s, 60s, before that, these guys were originators. Talent was like you knew when someone was talented. Nowadays you don't really know who really sounds like what. That's just the truth. Hate it or love it. But I'm gonna hop right into this. I'm excited because snow's falling. Like it looks so beautiful out my window right now. So I get to watch the snow as I listen to this. But with that being said, here we go.
It is the springtime of my love, the second season. I am to know you are the sunlight in my growing. So little warmth I've felt before. It isn't hard to feel me glowing. I watched the fire that grew so low. keeper of my smile. Flee from me, keepers of the blue. Speak to me only with your eyes. It is to you I give this tune. Ain't so hard to recognize, oh. These things are clear to all from time to time. Ooh. Of emotion, and like the wind, their eyes fall. This is the wonder of devotion. I see the torch we all must hold. This is the mystery of the quotient.
See how they tell that story through the instruments? They got me going back and looking up instruments now, and remembering, just so I could be able to tell exactly what instruments they're playing. But yeah, as far as the song, they took us through the seasons. They took us through the seasons of basically, it's like it reminds me, right? Like, hey, I felt the coldness of my winter. I never thought it would ever go. It sounded like, he was so happy through the spring and, being happy and I guess things feeling like it's blooming, like, things bloom in the spring and then, summertime, everything's going good. And then next thing it's like that. You feel that coldness of that winter when things go bad. It reminds me of, um, I just posted this on my community tab last night, so I'm not gonna choke up, but I had posted basically my brothers, from my hometown. We all I talked about how we grew up, very tight knit, and I'm talking about people, my sandbox brothers, people I grew up with, small town, everybody was close. Uh, And just when I turned 20, you know how everybody was still around. Everybody was still around, and I turned 30 in 2023, and so many people are gone, physically. Rest in power to them. Um, from my boy Joe, who we called Wild Boy, one of the best wrestlers out of the town, to my boy Richie Lupo, another one that was one of the best wrestlers out of the town, to my cousin Shaquan, to my boy Mike, one of the best boxers, ever. So many, Ja. I mean, I would just be going on forever. Jacob, um, and when I listen to this song, it brings me to that post. Life is like the seasons. When I was 20, that would be my spring. That would be, everything's blooming. I remember, because they would call 20 like a dub, right? So they'd be like, oh, everybody was excited. Oh, you turned in the dub. You finally hit the dub, and everybody was excited to turn 20. I remember that. I remember being on the north side of town, and my cousin Quan, you know, he was murdered by his best friend. I remember we were celebrating, and it was like, yo, you finally hit that dub. You finally 20. And all this happened, like, so many people died in a short span of time, like all around each other, like 2 months after Quan death. That's when Richie killed himself. He shot himself. So it's like, and then Mike, one of the best boxers. I mean, this kid was, he was one of the best boxers. um he overdosed. So it's just like this song in my post I talked about life how it's life, and they put it in the way of where they compared it to the seasons. 20 years old, I felt like I was blooming. 20, 21, and then you're having your fun just like in the summer. Then next thing you know, it gets cold like winter. um and that's just how it is. Everything's here to teach us a lesson, in life. This whole experience on this planet, everything that's happening, all the chaos, you gotta find the beauty in it, and make sure you don't end up, since it's around Christmas, make sure you don't end up like Ebenezer Scrooge. You gotta work on those things, and you gotta just learn from everything and grow from everything. That's what I take from this song. Because the seasons do teach us. Things in the winter die. But then guess what? They come back around more beautiful, and that's what this is about: evolving and coming back more beautiful. Don't let nothing just keep you down. This year I didn't even put up a Christmas tree. I just, my boys, my brothers, they've been on my mind. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, sometimes you just can't help it, and but like I said, I'm gonna keep growing. I know if anything, they want me to just continue to keep, doing what I'm doing and staying focused. Especially my boy Joe. Joe was, he died in a motorcycle accident. Joe was like, whew, man, you know, he was the truth. He was always that one that just wanted to be, wanted to make sure everybody was together, wanted to make sure everybody was together, wanted to make sure, everybody stayed close. He's throwing the bonfire parties on something we call Killer Hill. We'd have 100 kids up there after school. 100 kids up there. You know, right in right in the hills. And you'd see Joe in there. You know, always. And and yeah, he just wanted to make sure everybody was close all the time. He always wanted to throw a cookout. He was that one. Always like, nah, y'all better come through. Y'all better, he was always that one, right? So, which is it's crazy because he actually was the first one to really go. And but let me tell you something about life, guys. Because this song, it's telling us about life. It's telling us about the seasons. It may be love. It may be a girlfriend and things were great, and then, or a boyfriend, or a marriage. Let me tell you guys about life. There's a lesson to be learned in everything, because even right before Joe died, there's a post. Joe was the best dirt bike motorcycle rider. I mean, he's been doing this since a baby, right? And he made a post. He said, if he was to ever die, he shared a post. If he was to ever die, you know, on a bike, we'll smile for him because he went out doing what he loved, and that's what life about. And then that summer, right before Fourth of July, the day before is when he got in his motorcycle accident. So there's always a lesson to be learned. It's always a lesson in all these seasons. We just got to make sure that we keep growing and we keep becoming better. Because I know life can suck, right? But there's also a lot of beauty in it. Like I said, it's just pay attention to the lessons, guys. Um, as far as everybody who's been showing the utmost love, everybody who was raised in the 60s, 70s, 80s, I tell you, when you guys transition and you guys start leaving this planet, it's possible that I may lose my mind dealing with my generation. It's possible. It's you guys, the last ones left. It's possible. It's possible because my generation, it's a lot of but it just seems like the morals is somewhere else, right? Um, so I'm grateful that you guys are around right now and you guys are teaching me so much knowledge. They say that that's my uncle out there, but they say that if you guys hear a voice in the back, that's my uncle. But they say that what do they say? They say that every time an elder dies, it's like a library's burnt. So you guys are a library for me right now. When you guys come and you guys tell me about all these memories and you guys keep guiding me. You guys are libraries. But with that being said, I'm gonna enjoy some more reactions coming up. Much love to everybody. Much love.